We'll be right back after these important messages.
Match against Harada Akio.
You notice that our tournament director, Kurt Von Kruger, introduced him as Harada Akio. That's the way they do it in Japan, Marshall. The last name first, Holman Marshall.
Thank you, Mike, as we have Danny Wiseman starting our semifinal match off, and he wants to keep things going just like in the last match. Threw every ball wonderfully last game. And
you just put the kiss of death on him. He missed the freeway, clanked it off the rim.
He made a bad shot. He did not get through that ball aggressively enough. The ball hooked early, went right to the head pin. Fortunate just to leave the 610. He'll take his spare ball, throw hard and straight from deep inside.
Backed up all the way, but no trouble with the spare. Now we'll get our first look at the Japanese representative in this tournament, the Japan Cup, and he, I would say, is traditional of the Japanese professional bowler.
He certainly is, Mike. Akio, he throws the ball from the outside line with a very straight trajectory and doesn't throw with a lot of speed either. But a very effective player, and that's a wonderful way to start out with a strike there. He's currently ranked 6th with the Japanese Professional Bowlers Association, so a fine bowler in his own right.
And so many of the Japanese players that I've seen are similar in that style. I mean, classic forms, just the way we would teach it in a learn to bowl class, and it's down and in, very little hook, keep the ball in play. They do it very effectively.
Yes, they do, Mike. And, you know, all bowlers are products of their environment. As you can see, the great average that Akio had this week. He grew up on lanes that dictated that he throw the ball with a straighter trajectory, and so that's what he's done. As he goes for the double,
just a little tight, leaves the 4-pin. I would think, Marshall, that with the advent of the reactive resin balls, it would really benefit the Japanese players.
Well, it certainly has, as it has some of the players on our tour. But, you know, no matter what the conditionings are on the lanes or the kind of bowling balls that are being manufactured, you still have to get it done. So he has learned how to take advantage of what's out there right now, and he's bowling great.
Converts the 4-pin, no trouble. Starts with strike spare.
And he stays with the same ball for his spares and strikes. And I think that's because he doesn't throw the ball with a lot of hook.
And immediately goes into his little bag to pull out something, a bevel knife or something to work on that ball.
Looking for a little better feel.
Danny Wiseman, second frame.
Well, he went high on his first ball in the first frame, and he comes in the second frame. I wonder if he made an adjustment for the bad shot he had on the left-hand lane. I know sometimes that can happen.
Well, he wasn't listening to you then. You said earlier not to adjust for those bad shots.
Well, he's doing a pretty good job. He's out there bowling right now, and we're just back here talking about it. So I think Danny knows what he's doing.
At the 4-pin, having a little fun here. Danny Wiseman converts that 4-pin, moves over to the left lane. Already has almost as many spares in this second match as he did through 12 frames of the opening match, where he had only 3.
It's amazing what a couple of minutes in a commercial can do to a professional bowler. It disrupts the rhythm. You know, if we could bowl without commercials, the scores would be much higher.
Comes in light. And the double bad break and a little, well, he said something to those pins. So.
He's not happy. You can see this ball going out to the right and making its break in at about 50 feet. It looks great right here. It's that light hit that carries so well. He leaves the 710. Pocket 710 leaves, it's the half 10 with the 5 that just went behind the 7-pin.
And the head pin went in front of it. At the 7-pin, he shoots, barely hits it, so he's 9 out. His first open frame and a little wry smile.
Well, I'm glad to see Danny smiling right now. I'm not sure I could smile through that. He knows he made a good shot, and, you know, that's all you can really do is get up there and execute, and sometimes the pin carry isn't really in your hands.
Akio Harada, third frame on the right lane.
Can he take advantage of that mistake? He does take advantage of that bad break by Danny. As we see his form, 4-step bowler. Shoulder high, very straight through the delivery. Pulls just a little bit through with his arm. I think that's because he doesn't throw a lot of hook. He kind of helps the ball just a little bit with the direction of his follow-through.
Is that the old adage to trust it, but not too much in the elbow breaks?
It could be.
Fourth frame. through that beautiful, solid 10. Happens all the way around the world, huh?
Yes,
Those
it
solid
does.
10s.
There was an opportunity for him to really take command of this game, and he did everything in his power, but the 10-pin was not to be.
Cross lane at the 10-pin. How are the Japanese at spare shooting, Marsh?
They're excellent spare shooters, and that goes hand in hand with how straight they throw the ball for the most part. Not big power players, so they're good spare shooters.
Danny Wiseman now trying to regroup. Vast difference here where Harada's playing these lanes and Wiseman's playing. He's inside the third arrow and Harada outside the second arrow.
Danny with a little more power, more of a contemporary American style of play. And all the pins are very responsive that time. No 7-10 left for Danny Wiseman in the fourth.
Looking down at the approach right here, trying to decide where he's going to stand. Is he making an adjustment for that 7-10, or he just throws it back there and hopes for a better result?
Well, I think he stays in the same place. I know if I had left the 7-10, I would not adjust. The human body is not going to throw the ball exactly the same on every delivery, so I would stay there. He was in the pocket. Maybe just soften the speed up just ever so slightly.
Sends it out. And it hooked out right at the pocket for a nice double.
I'm not sure exactly what he did on that shot, Mike, but he made the proper adjustment. Got all the pins to go down. He's now right back into this match. It's a very, very close match.
Trails by only 4 pins at this point in time. Harada now up in the 5th frame, a lane that he's had no trouble with. We can see his career earnings there. Doing very well over in Japan. As he strikes there, of course, that $537,000 would qualify him for poverty wages with the American baseball players, but are all sports figures nowadays, it seems like. There we see the score. Harada up by 5 pins in this match. Well, actually, it's only 4 pins in this match.
That's correct. And he's having absolutely no trouble with the right-hand lane, but this left-hand lane, he left a 4-pin the first time on it, and then he left a 10-pin the second time, making very good shots, but not getting the carry. He'd love to get this double right here and put some pressure on the American Danny Wiseman.
Looking for his first strike on the left lane.
Kind of a funny delivery there, but nothing funny about the way those pins fell over. That's 10 in the pit.
Hold it. 26, Danny Wiseman in the 6th frame, trailing by 14 pins, Marshall.
And it would seemingly look like this is a very important time of the game for Danny, and needs to stay in touch with the opposition.
And you hear that guy shouting in the background. That's some of the American players here that have bowled in the tournament that are definitely rooting for the American Danny Wiseman as he trails by only 4 pins. Of course, this is kind of like Japan versus America, right?